Uh, Thank you. It's a relief to be out after a week. This is certainly unexpected. I didn't expect something that happened from 10 years ago to sneak up on me in Germany. But this isn't really about me. It's about the fact that we're killing off all our sharks and our whales in our oceans. And I had to take action with my crew a decade ago to protect hundreds of sharks. And of course, those shark poachers have very powerful allies in government and other places. So I guess we just have to see how the justice system works out here, although it's very strange that this so-called extradition thing was dismissed by Interpol in every country except for Germany. I haven't got an explanation for that, but maybe the courts will enlighten us on that. Otherwise, the support has been incredible all over the world, and I'm hoping that we can direct that support towards putting attention on the fact that our oceans are dying, that our sharks are being destroyed, our whales are being illegally killed, and that we have all the laws and the regulations we need to protect our oceans, but we don't have governments with the guts in order to enforce those regulations, which leaves it for people like ourselves to do the job that government should be doing. Thank you.
All right, Paul, what's happening now? Can you leave Germany? Is it all over?
I gather I'm out under house arrest in Germany, so I can't leave Germany
Unbelievable.
until there's some sort of a decision.
Yeah, so we, and I may apologize upon this, we will not comment on the case itself, so because actually we have not yet access to all the files, so there will be no comment on the case itself, but all we can say is that the High Regional Court granted bail, which is the first step in the right direction. So with the High Regional Court in Frankfurt, it's very unusual that they grant bail in extradition cases, so we are grateful that this has happened, and it shows to us that there might be on the political level and there might be on the judicial level a solution in this case possible. But neither Paul nor me will answer questions on the case itself. So this is good.
Can you give us a rough idea on the timeline? When will that be resolved?
So under the extradition regime and under the law, Costa Rica has to show all the extradition papers within a time frame of 3 months after the arrest. So we are waiting now if something's come along from Costa Rica. If no papers will come along in the extradition case, the case will be over after 3 months. So at this stage it's only waiting, and we are just expecting on the political level probably some solutions, and maybe this will take or will come along very soon. We have a president's visit on Wednesday by Costa Rica's president. So this is what Paul was going to say to you, and we'll give a statement on that. So we will see what happens on Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll go to Berlin on Wednesday, and I believe that there's going to be demonstrations around the world against Costa Rica on this. So we'll see what happens. I'm also going to be having a press conference in Cannes on Wednesday, although I won't be there. I'll be here, but we'll be doing it by short circuit TV, I guess. So there's it's an ongoing thing, but I want to stress one thing, that this doesn't impact our campaigns to protect whales in Antarctica. It doesn't impact our campaigns to protect sharks. My ships will continue to do what they do. My crew will be there, and whether I'm there or not. So this isn't going to stop our activities to protect our oceans.
So who is to blame for your arrest? Is it Germany? Is it the German authorities, or is it Japan?
It's a coincidence to me that this extradition demand was put out in October of 2011, which coincides exactly when the Japanese laid a civil charge against us in the United States, which they lost. But it all seems like, for instance, Japan took $35 million from the earthquake tsunami relief fund to be used against us. And I don't think that when people donated that money that they thought that that was what it was going to be used for. But they've been using it to do PR and illegal challenges against our activities, against their illegal operations.
Do you think there's a connection between the visit of the President of Costa Rica and your arrest plan last week?
No, I think that's probably coincidental. I just happened to be coming here. I certainly wasn't aware that they certainly weren't aware I was coming here, so I think that's coincidental.
How do you feel after the last week? I mean, I imagine it wasn't the worst thing you ever experienced.
What can I say about German prisons? They're boring. Very boring. Certainly nobody mistreated me or anything, but I just find that it's. I find it amazing that the people who are out there destroying our oceans continue to go freely about destroying our oceans, and people who try to stop them end up in jail.
But was it the first time you were actually imprisoned?
No, I've been arrested many times in the past. I've not been convicted. But, when you're trying to do what we do, you're going to find yourself in trouble with the powers that be. There's a lot of vested interests in protecting, those industries which are profiting from destroying our oceans. Yeah.
Any other questions you would like to raise?
You traveled through Europe so much, and I guess you was really surprised when being arrested here in Germany.
I've actually been back and forth to Europe many times since this extradition demand was put out by Costa Rica, but Interpol had dismissed it. I wasn't even aware of that. Apparently Germany's the only country where they don't really take regard about Interpol dismissing it or not. So I don't really understand what the particular laws are here, but it seems that this was the wrong place to come.
Do you think that there was a direct connection between the Japanese authorities and the German authorities in this case before your arrestment?
I have no idea. I do know that Japan has been putting pressure everywhere they can. Australia, Canada, the Netherlands. The Japanese want to stop us. We've saved over 4,000 whales in the Southern Ocean. And this is called the Southern Ocean Whale Sanctuary. It's called a sanctuary for a reason. That is, you don't kill whales in a sanctuary. And so Japan's very upset. The fact is we accomplished what we set out to do a number of years ago, which was to sink the Japanese whaling fleet economically, to bankrupt them. They're bankrupt, and now they're angry.
Did you come to Germany the last 10 years?
Yeah, actually, I was in Hamburg last November for the Hamburg Film Festival.
And you weren't arrested, apparently?
No.
Did you receive our mails?
I did receive some, but not all. Yes, thank you.
Mr. Watson, the problem was that you confused the ship traffic, is that true? And isn't it always the problem?
What do you mean?
So the charges in Costa Rica, if you don't mind, the charges in Costa Rica is confusing. It's only about navigation at this stage. So this is what we know from the Costa Rican arrest warrant that has been issued and that has been first put into the system by the Interpol Red Notice and then has been withdrawn by Interpol. We are trying to find out for what reason Interpol has withdrawn this arrest warrant and ask all the member states of Interpol not to come up with any arrest of Mr. Watson. But in fact, this goes in the media. We're not talking about attempted murder or something like that. It was only a navigation charge, nothing more.
Yeah, I should stress nobody was injured, no property was damaged, no property was stolen. Hundreds of lives of sharks were saved. That was the whole case.
So are you quite sure that Germany is the only country in which you could have been arrested, that all the other countries wouldn't do this?
So what we know is that Interpol issued in January this year a notice that the arrest warrant will be not longer been in the Interpol system. So that means that on the international level there was a decision by Interpol because of Article 3 of their statutes that we have an arrest warrant on political motivations. So this is what we know. We do not know exactly which countries follow this advice by Interpol. All we know is that Germany at this stage does not follow this advice.
And we check with Homeland Security in the United States, and there's no extradition demand there at all.
Mr. Watson, there was an overwhelming solidarity movement in Germany. For example, the ONG Rainforest Rescue Rettet den Regenwald was collecting more than 30,000 signatures in 3 days. Was he aware of that or expecting that?
No, but I certainly appreciate it. But yeah. I think that one of the things that we've learned over the years is that the conservation environmental movement is one of diversity, and that's where the strength of any movement lies, is in diversity. So we found this in our last campaign in Australia, where we had people from the forest coming to work to protect whales, and because everything's interdependent, everything's connected. So we certainly appreciate that.
Any other questions?
Any messages to the Japanese?
Yeah, I have a message. Stop killing whales in the Southern Ocean Whale Sanctuary. You know, this is the 21st century. Leave the whales alone, and leave the dolphins alone also.
Get below and stay below, yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That is the smallest camera I've ever seen.